And with that, welcome back to another episode of In Out Delete.
We are back.
Yeah, we dusted off the old equipment, all the cobwebs on it, and have come back for a new episode.
I like how we went from doing this every week, literally, to kind of like bi-weekly, to monthly, bi-monthly.
Bi-monthly.
Yeah, now we're just doing it bi-yearly, it looks like.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
One per quarter.
Life happens, and, you know, we have real jobs unless somebody wants to sponsor this.
Damn, we're just lazy.
We are
That
pretty
too.
lazy.
Yeah.
But, so, I'm Gio.
America?
Ricardo.
Robert.
And,
Gio's missing.
Gino's missing.
Again.
Oh, yeah, I said Gio. God damn it.
I'm here. I just said my name.
Damn.
Oops.
The role of Gino will be played by a cat.
He's orange. His ears twitching. He knows we're talking about him.
He's asleep on the couch right now.
Pretty weird. Damn it. And that sucks because we haven't seen Gino in like the last 2 sessions.
I don't even know what he looks like anymore.
What did he watch? We don't know. We should have made him. Like,
he didn't even send us what he watched.
Yeah,
So-
we forgot to ask him. If he had anything that he wanted to add.
That's funny. But with that being said, what month are we doing?
Yeah, because the last episode we did was February and March. So now we're going from April to present.
I think we did an April movie too, no?
No.
No, because the last movie we saw was John Wick, and that was in March.
Oh,
Yeah.
Interesting. So this shit says...
So buckle up because this is probably a 2-parter.
Okay. Cool.
If you guys don't mind, I could start it off.
Yeah, you probably have the most right now.
Yeah.
The first movie I saw is called Air.
Ooh.
Insert fun sound effect here. It's about...
Well, you don't want to... We're supposed to be like little sound.
It's
no?
supposed to be like... You know, that's well, my sounds today, you know? I didn't do the prep work.
If I had thought about it, I would have played the entrance to the Chicago Bulls.
Oh, yeah.
That song.
That would have been good.
Yeah. If you didn't know, it's a movie about a shoe.
Sounds
more
compelling.
specifically, Michael Jordan's Air Jordan shoe,
The
made
birth
by
of
Nike
his,
in the 1980s.
Oh, so it's like
And
the
if you would have thought,
greatest
why
shoe.
would somebody make a movie about a shoe? Well, let me tell you. It's funny because like apparently like there's this new genre called like dad movies, and it's movies that are like appeal to older men, I guess. Like Ford versus Ferrari was one of them. You know,
that's a perfect example.
and this one apparently is another one. I enjoyed it for what it was. I guess I'm an in. I mean, I guess when I take a step back and go like, I guess this is the best movie about a shoe I've ever seen. Yeah, when you take a step back and look at it, like they really made a movie about a shoe, you know, and they make it like so profound too, like
Yeah, like the
shoe's gonna
really
change the
do.
world.
Well,
you know?
it did, though.
It did,
It did,
But
yeah.
that's the thing. Like we
It
joke
did.
about it, but like it did. There's how many iterations of that shoe,
But like the way they, I don't
and
know.
the dude
it's
stopped
a little-
playing.
And it's the greatest shoe probably, right? Like
Yeah,
the most
it's
expensive.
just funny.
Like,
Like
it's-
they,
Like who
Like,
here has a pair
right,
or has
but
owned a pair?
But they,
I-
like when they make movies like this, they always like, you know, it's obviously hindsight, you know, whatever, but they make it always seem like the characters know how important this thing is going to be. You know,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I bet you it was just a shoe.
I
Yeah.
know.
Like,
well,
Yeah, I mean, they did make it seem more profound than it was. Like, it
Yeah.
probably should have been a documentary.
yeah, that would have been cool. I
I'm
mean,
pretty
but
sure there is
overall,
some
I
of them
think
where-
the script is good enough, and I think I'll kind of bring this movie up when I talk about other movies, to where like it actually is structured, you know, decently. It has some good acting in it. With
Matt Damon.
and all that
Ben
stuff.
Affleck, yeah.
Is it something that you might be interested? Like I said, if you're a dad and you like these types of movies, I guess. For what it was, I thought it worked, but it didn't, you know, change my life or anything. But I'm in. That was good.
All right. Hey, we forgot. We saw that too.
Oh.
Yeah. The song how it starts. We said it in commerce.
I'll put the real one in. But for now, it's going to sound like...
or you put in the NBA song.
No, you would know with this. Remember in The Simpsons when Marge is like, she imagines like, "Hi Marge, I'm Lee Majors."
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
That's
that's the sound I'm gonna
$1 Million
put in.
Man or whatever his name is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I am an in on this one too. It's like what you said. I don't know. I guess that's what you call them, dad movies or whatever.
Yeah.
I
like it.
I like it too, I guess, and it's I guess because it's a sports movie too, semi-sports,
sports movie.
Yeah, and like
Sports
adjacent. Yeah.
and I like those movies too. And it was pretty funny. It wasn't like the greatest thing or like not like an Oscar or whatever, but right? It was entertaining enough. What do
Is
you
this like the male version of like your biological clock ticking?
I think it is. It really is.
Your dad clock.
Oh, but
I mean, it's literally about a guy like having a midlife crisis.
Yeah.
you watched
it
The
really
Last
is.
Dance? The Last Dance? You saw The Last Dance? They have like a whole episode on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they talk about all that. And that's actually a little bit better, to be honest.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
I kind of enjoyed it. It was all kind of like flat.
And
For
a little
me,
cheesy,
it
huh?
didn't. Yeah, it was very cheesy, super like, oh yeah, this is gonna change the world. I'm so right. This man is important. Blah blah blah. And it's like if they made a movie about like the invention of Zelle and how it changed everyone's life, and it's like,
Well, let me
I
tell
mean,
you.
it's
Give it a couple
convenient, but
years.
it didn't really, you know.
Yeah, and
So
what he said too, what did you say that it was probably like, oh, it's just like, here, we'll pick this
Yeah.
player kind of.
Yeah.
They really like went in deep and like
yeah, about
they
why
picked
it's
this-
him or
yeah, and it's
whatever.
kinda-
Yeah.
I call bullshit on that.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it like a high out. I was gonna say in,
Oh.
but I don't crave watching this movie ever again. Even if it comes on TV, you know, and you're kind of just channel surfing. Like, I don't think I would.
There's an airplane in here.
Yeah, sorry.
Gio,
The,
did you watch
Gino's
it?
playing the airplane.
I did watch that.
Oh,
nice.
And I was entertained enough that I'm giving it an in. I thought it was funny. Like it was done on purpose the way it was made, I guess. Like
was it?
it was like they didn't make it like
It really seemed like self.
I don't think so, like,
Yeah.
it
No.
didn't really have like a
well, like
wink, you know.
Well, no, the thing
to
is
it.
like, if, like this, like seeing like what they said in like some of the interviews or whatever, like they did play up a lot of stuff in
Yeah.
this. So like that's why like it's more of like it's not a straight like full
dramatic
on
telling
dramatic,
of-
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because like you can tell like the way I forgot what's his name's character in there was like
The shoe designer.
his agent. Jordan's agent, like the way that guy gets get played out or whatever, like it's it's done more.
well, they
for,
have to do something.
That's
right?
why,
They're
like-
making a movie about a shoe.
yeah,
About
Right.
So
a
that's why-
business transaction, not even a
essentially,
shoe.
Yeah.
like
Like, I bought some hot Cheetos earlier. You want to make a movie about that? Like, this is the most
Get
important
ready.
bag of hot
Longoria
Cheetos
does.
you got. And speaking of that, they made a movie about hot
Yeah.
Cheetos, right?
But yeah, like I thought it was I know it's like dramatized and all that stuff, and there's a lot of creative license with this, but I've just kind of like the journey and like the behind it is what I think what caught me.
Yeah.
Like
It works. I think it
like
works.
that's
It's
like
just-
that's what like it caught me, and like that's why I
Yeah.
kind of liked it because like I tend to like to know as
No,
we've-
me too. Yeah.
like as we've done this, like I'll be the one that go look to see like, oh, what, you know, like some stuff behind it, and like so that's what hooked me on this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like it's about a freaking shoe, but it was just like, how did that shoe go? That's like
I need to know.
like I didn't know anything about it, but like at the end of the day, it was just like, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Like
It is. Like I said, I think overall it works for what it is. It's just kind of when you take a step back and go like, all right, you know,
Yeah.
you kind of like, yeah, it's a shoe. You know?
I think my inner dad, my biggest criticism is that it was too dramatic for what it was. It really was super self-righteous and like, yes, this is going to be it,
Yeah.
you know? And I would have rather watched a documentary. I think that would have been a lot more interesting and informative.
Like to them, the stakes in that movie, and I know obviously it works for the movie, but it makes it kind of funny when you think about it because the stakes are as important as like Schindler's List.
Yeah.
You know? It's
yes.
like we have to
Like,
do this.
the thing is, like,
you know,
yeah.
we have
They
to
slept
change,
at
you
the
know,
office.
and
They
then
trained.
the
and-
speech that he gives at the end,
Yeah.
you know, that's like
Yeah.
something Jerry Maguire would do, you know, something like that, you know. It's just like while you're watching, it's fine. Like I said, if you're like channel surfing and it's on TNT, you know,
Like, it's
people
a
are
sub-
gonna love this movie, you know,
like
'cause-
it's a subject that you like that you'd be interested because it's sports adjacent.
yeah.
So like
yeah.
this would be like played after an NBA game or whatever. There's like
yeah.
they'll have the NBA game and then they'll have, like this
yeah.
is on TNT. There's like
Yeah.
lead in,
Yeah.
like you're saying.
But there's another thing too. Speaking about like how it's so dramatic. Do you remember the shit? I haven't seen this since how long ago this was. I hope you guys remember. But there's a scene where Matt Damon is talking to the mom on the phone, and she like picks Jordan, like, or picks him.
Oh, when he
Yeah, and then like they're talking about how like, oh, he could be a defensive player and offense. It's like he's gonna do it all, and then it's so silly.
Yeah.
Like no one really thinks that. Come on.
I'm sure they actually, because I listen to sports radio a lot, right?
Yeah.
And the guy who the movie's based on, Matt Damon.
Yeah.
That guy actually, they interviewed him. And he said that whole climactic scene where he's talking about
It's real?
That's real.
Nah,
I wouldn't doubt it because like if you listen to Ben Affleck talk about how they got Viola Davis to get in there, like was it Michael Jordan's mom she was in the movie, but she was just like a small bit, like
Oh really?
not much. It wasn't until they met with
It
Michael
was
Jordan.
Jordan who said, "Oh, it has to be."
Yeah.
Oh
like the
really?
mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like because the thing is, like, they wanted to run it by him. They're like, we wanted to do this story. We wanted to get his blessing, even though he's not necessarily going to be in it, participate in anything, but like we wanted just to have his blessing. He's like, if he didn't give his blessing, we wouldn't have done it at all. So he gave the blessing, and he said, like one thing is just like, yeah, the person I want, to play my mom is Viola Davis. And Ben Affleck was like, okay, we're gonna have to write a role. Is it good enough?
More substantial.
And for Viola Davis, because like they weren't planning that much with her mom, with his mom.
They're like, she's got to be worth the budget.
So what was gonna be the movie then? If it's not the mom, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah, like the fact that like some of those things are probably more true because MJ probably said like, hey, he's gonna protect his mom and like make sure that she looks good.
He was the one who emphasized like it was the mom.
Yeah,
basically
that that whole mom
that was
angle
in charge basically
that came into play in this movie was because Michael Jordan said that's what he wanted.
Yeah. I want a movie about that.
Just that conversation.
Just that conversation.
Yeah. So you want a movie on how the option got picked up for this movie.
So now we're gonna end up with how Air revolutionized like casting,
filmmaking,
yeah.
about a shoe, about a movie about a shoe. It's like so meta.
All right, that's it for that one.
It was a mild ass movie.
Yeah.
It's just Nike was about to break, and then shoe happened, and then Nike is one of the number one shoe manufacturers in the world,
and he's a billionaire
and they bought out Converse, which was one of their competitors.
Yeah,
shows how that shoe happened.
Led
the world.
And let's move on to the next movie. We saw Mario movie, right?
Oh.
Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
Super Mario Bros. Movie.
Wahoo!
Yeah, so...
See, I don't have anything.
Come on, Gio. Be fast on that one.
So what's it about?
It's about plumbers. No, it's about
starting
the cartoon.
up their business?
Yeah, the cartoon Mario. I mean, the
Video
cartoon,
game.
the video game Mario. And I guess it's a movie now. Same story, kind of.
There really wasn't a story. It was just kind of like gameplay or something.
Yeah, and then I guess it's like fan...
There's a plot, and
what do you
that's
call
about
it? Fan
Service?
Fan service, yeah. And it worked.
Fan service, the movie.
Yeah, it worked.
Yes.
It worked. I'm an in on this one if I had to review it. Okay, so it's a I was close to being an out, right? But it was entertaining enough, and it was fine what it was, and it was short. But there was a lot of moments where I thought this movie could have been 10 times better, and they didn't take advantage. I felt like it could have been better, and they just went with the fan thing, the fan service too much, where it could have been a real story. It could have been like, you know how they show him as like a person, or whatever. Maybe expand on that, you know, like
Expand on that.
Like on his character.
on
you
his
mean?
character, yeah, and his family, and like they only show a little bit, and then as soon as he joins that little weird little world, it was like you see that toad. And it's like, oh look, you gotta see this, you know, like it's like, dude, like give me something more, you know, like give me growth.
Oh,
Yeah.
but
And it-
that's like legit how the
Character
video game
development.
is, though.
that's what I'm saying.
But you could make a story with these characters, right?
'Cause
Where
there
they
were-
go on
there-
some
there-
kind of adventure or whatever.
There was this cool like Jack Black is funny. Everything like there's parts that are funny, like that are cool. And even DK, you know. So all that is cool to me, right? Because I do like that. But I'm telling you, they have this moment to be really, really good, and they just decided to be like, nah, guys, you know.
You're in.
But I'm still in, yeah.
Yeah, I think Universal released this movie just as an advertisement for Mario Land at Universal Studios Hollywood because
You're next, yeah, you're right.
I'm speaking. What do you want me to do? Jesus. I guess my review's over, or I don't know, hasn't begun. So, I don't like. I want to rate this badly because it literally there's just a plot, and the plot is Mario needs to go rescue the princess.
That's
And
also
then-
the plot of the game.
I know, but again, yes, you could. I know that they're children's characters, and I know that this is a children's movie. But I do wish that they did something more creative.
Yes.
Like, because it literally was like, oh, Mario needs to go figure out what these little pipes are. And he figures out how to use the pipes. And then he figures out how to, like, become big and then small. And then he learns how to jump. And,
And
it's like,
it's so quick
wow,
too,
that is
right?
so good.
It's so quick too. It's
Yeah.
like
So, in that sense, I want to, like, rate it badly. But it is a kid's movie, and it was funny. And it was entertaining enough. So, I'm going to give it a low in.
yeah, me too. They should have like a think like a really
Ding with a question mark?
Yeah. Low in, high out.
For what it is, it was entertaining enough, and it was just enough. So I'm in.
Literally barely enough, huh?
Like, that's what I said. Like, for what it was, like, it's a game. It's a movie based on a game where the dude just has to go and rescue the princess, and she's on another castle, so he has to go to the other castle to rescue the princess.
I like how you're leaning on this one, but you're harsh on some other shit.
Well, because it's just like it is what it is, and it's like you kind
There
of
were some funny moments.
yeah, like
Two of them.
No, there was a few.
because like for what it was, like it was just entertaining. Like I said, like it's wasn't looking for much. I think in this one, you know, so I left. I was just like that was better than I guess what I anticipated, which is I guess the most that you can ask for for a movie like this.
Oh, okay.
Especially since it was like the first time since the original that live action Mario that Nintendo has like, hey, let's do something with our characters because they are super protective over their their character use, and outside of video games and stuff. Pretty much they went with that one movie and then they're like bad experience, not again.
What was because I know it's like cringy, right? That old movie, but what was the plot for that movie?
I don't remember.
I think Daisy or somebody gets pulled into the world and they have to go ahead and rescue.
Well, I think
Okay.
she was already from that world.
No, remember in the beginning she got brought out or something?
Do we see the characters like change or become who they are?
There's
throughout the
actual
movie?
there's an actual
Transformation.
script.
Character development.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's what
Yeah.
we're
Okay.
looking
But it's
for.
like but they go into the other like the world.
It's still not very good.
Yeah, they go to
But-
like Mushroom Kingdom, and it's like this weird futuristic kind of
It's like Blade Runner.
No, it was like if you can kind of compare it to like what was it like the Double Dragon video game movie?
Is Dennis Hopper? Like,
Yeah, he was King Koopa.
he's King Koopa.
Mm.
Yeah, he was. Like he gets his blood like transmutated and becomes this weird dinosaur kind of thing or something like that. If I remember correctly.
I don't remember.
It's been a while since
Yeah.
I've seen it. Yeah.
Dude, you can remember all that though.
There was
Oh, yeah.
something to actually
Can
remember.
I go?
Yeah. Go.
I saw this movie too. I'll be the one kind of like, I guess I'll be the grumpy old man. But I will say, cause like I went into this movie ready to hate it. because there was so much talk around it. Like, and I'm not talking about kids like kids movies or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the people my age
Yes.
who were so obsessed with it.
Oh, I hate
and
that.
they were like,
The
"Oh my
worst.
god, dude, it's gonna be amazing! They got it right!" And I'm like, "Bro, it's a game. Like what was there? There was no story in there to begin with.
It wasn't.
So I went in ready to hate it, especially when it was like it blew up. And I didn't hate it while I was watching it. With that being said, and you guys kind of mentioned this, there is literally no story. Nothing. They didn't even try.
They didn't try.
And you get all this thing, well, it's a kid's movie. And I was like, bro, Shrek is a kid's movie.
Yes.
And that has a great story. So
Toy Story.
I don't like this like excuse to just saying like, oh, it's a kid's movie. What do you expect? I was like, there are kids. I think there's two categories of kids movies. The ones that just kids enjoy and parents are like, please, gotta kill me. And they're the ones that are like everybody enjoys, right? That have a real story but still appeal to kids. This one falls into the
only kids.
the only kids. Because there's really nothing there. Nothing. But what's disappointing is that some of the characters were actually fun.
Yeah.
And I think that's what kind of pulled me. So I'm whatever out.
Like a high out?
Yeah.
Or just middle ground out?
Like middle ground
solid
out. The most middle ground you could get. Because I didn't hate it. So that to me is a positive because I went in, I wanted to delete this shit, But that's what was disappointing because like you have Jack Black, like he was the only actual character in the movie,
Yes.
and I think that's why everybody likes him, because he actually had something, even though he was flawed, he actually had something he wanted, right?
Yeah.
And that's what's disappointing. Like it was just full of, and I get all the references, right? Because I grew up playing the games too, but it doesn't mean anything to me. Because I was like, because the story or lack thereof is in service of the references rather than the other way around. And I wish it had been like that because like when they go into the Mario Kart thing and they're all driving, I was like, I wish it would have been so simple just to add some little story like, hey, you have to take the star away from keep it away from Koopa. That's literally all you need,
Yeah.
But it had nothing. It was jumping literally like
Yes.
from reference to reference.
Yeah.
And that's what was disappointing. And the voice acting too. Let's talk about that. Chris Pratt, what are you doing, dog? What was that decision? And I
Did it take
imagine
you out, or just because it was just like flat and stuff?
it was flat.
Okay.
It was nothing. And it's disappointing that I imagine they chose him because they didn't want to make like Mario stereotypical.
That's
or,
the thing, like-
they didn't want to be offensive. But what was funny is that when he goes home to his family, his whole family's like, "Hey, what's the matter with you?" And I was like, "What the fuck?" And then they have the real Mario there. And they're like, "Woohoo!" And I was like, "Isn't that insulting that they have the real?" And just Chris Pratt, he's not a voice actor. He didn't bring anything to the table. Seth Rogen, I'm sorry, bro. Like he's the same voice like
All the
every,
time.
like,
Well,
it's
the thing with Seth
annoying.
Rogen, though, is that he said,
I don't care.
No, like he
I
said
know
in his-
I know what he said.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the creative people who made this
that's
movie.
that's on the casting.
It was just so disappointing that with this type of movie specifically, voice actors could bring so much to it. And look at what Jack Black brought to his character. And that's what you could have had across the board. And that's what just makes it disappointing. And I think all these people were freaking out, calling this like so good. I'm talking about people my age. I think after a year, they're gonna realize
Wait a minute.
just how bad this is.
Who played Luigi? Oh, that Charlie guy.
Charlie Day.
Charlie
Charlie
Day.
Day.
I don't know what is it with this guy. I never watched that
Sonny?
Sunny show, so I don't know if he's funny on that show. But he is not funny to me. Like he's like the white what's that guy's name? Kevin Hart.
I don't know. You're the only one that
The
knows
one
what
who
you're trying
comes
to
out
reference.
in the movies with The Rock.
Yeah, that's
So,
Kevin Hart.
Yeah, okay, he's like the white Kevin Hart. He always plays like that annoying guy who's like not
does,
funny,
though, yeah.
And his voice is always like annoying.
That's
nice.
how he talks, yeah.
And I was like, oh, this sucks.
I didn't even know it
Click.
was him until I was
Yeah.
like listening to it. I was
But
like,
you know
oh,
what?
shit.
I was being so harsh on it, and I think this is why I came around. I was talking to some dude who's like really into video games, and he apparently said that Gio kind of brought this up. They were so protective of their characters that literally anything that Universal wrote, they had to send it to them,
Oh,
and they had to
shit.
get it approved.
Oh, shit.
And it's like every little thing.
Damn.
So I imagine that's what kind of diluted the story of this or lack thereof of this movie. But yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because it's weird because like Nintendo in the 80s, like they were kind of loose, I think, with their licensing. Because like Mario had, that live action, TV show or whatever. I think there's also I don't know if it's also part of the cartoon, because I think there was a cartoon, and I don't know if they had like those live action like little bits and pieces like bump ins and bump outs, like where you'd see the live action like Mario and Luigi. But like after a while, like I think once that freaking movie came out, like
killed it.
That it seemed to like have killed it, and like they were like, no, we're
not doing anything with anything.
See, to me, this is what pisses me off, and it's the same thing with Star Wars too. Say, oh, it doesn't look like it or whatever. It was like, well, yeah, that's the easy part. Making something look like the Mario games is very easy, right?
Yeah.
You just make it look like him, but make an actual story.
They're fighting, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole Smash Brothers melee sequence with DK's introduction.
They're gonna
It
kiss.
doesn't like that's like what you were saying, like so many references.
Yeah, there's a lot of Easter
It's just
eggs in this
jumping
movie.
from reference to reference.
Yeah.
Dude,
That's
they
really all
even
it
use
is.
the Luigi,
We're on the next
ghost
level.
thing.
Here's a
They
reference.
used everything.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's going on here?
So yeah,
And there's all based off of the ending. There's gonna be a sequel.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I wonder if like though because they kind of got this out of the way, they might make up something of a fuller thought out story. But you know, wishful thinking.
Yeah.
Though I think
it's a commercial, bro.
Though I think because of the way this movie kind of came out, and Nintendo was like, "All right, you guys kind of showed a little bit of respect, I guess, with our property or whatever." I think they're
Well,
gonna...
they made them.
No, but like, it still made them a lot of money. I think they're trying to eyeball that same studio for Zelda to do an animated Zelda movie.
So that's gonna suck.
Oh,
too.
you know what? That's what's gonna happen, right? They're gonna make
Yeah, and they're gonna make a shared universe and blah blah blah.
and then Super Smash
whatever.
Brother movie.
I don't care.
As long as it has story, right?
Yeah.
Like, just give us a story.
Yeah,
It gets
and it's like especially seeing some other movies that we're gonna talk about later that are kids movies, you know,
Oh yeah,
that are really good.
yes,
you know?
yes.
I don't know what we're talking
It's
about.
like
You could. There's potential.
Evil Dead?
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that kid's franchise.
All right, we can move on. Then.
So another movie based on a game,
that's another one.
not a video game,
A board game. Is it a board game?
RPG, tabletop game.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh,
You're the one person.
Do you play?
I've always wanted to. I haven't.
That's me, dude. Because like at work, there's always people playing, and I'm like, that looks like fun.
I think I also have like a digital copy of like the Dungeon Master's Guide on how to do that stuff. But I've never.
You could be like Stranger Things.
but dude, so you know a little bit about it already, then.
Well, the thing is, like, there's not much to know, like, because the
It's
game
just little
itself,
elves and shit.
because like the game itself is very,
You make up the story, no?
yeah, it's whatever you kind of want out of it.
Oh, okay.
Like, yeah, so like the whole thing is like you have your thing, your person who's kind of creating this story, called your dungeon master. They create the story, they'll write or whatever, they'll create your adventure, and then everybody else around you would be like the players.
So they make the rules
Like your
and everything?
slaves.
So they make the scenarios.
Oh.
So like, so they'll were like, oh, okay, we're starting here. Whatever, you guys are the,
Slaves.
whatever you want to be. You can be like a thief. You can be a
Townspeople,
paladin. You can be
perhaps.
an archer or whatever. And then you
Woo.
you create your own player.
I want to be a blacksmith.
You can do that. You
Thank
probably
you.
have some stuff.
Can I be a baker?
I want to be
Maybe.
Michael Jordan.
I want to be
The thing is,
guy
like-
who
the thing
invents
is, like-
shoe.
The thing is, like,
together.
Let me roll a 3.
yeah, like the thing is, you can you can probably create a character where they're more
Michael
maybe like
Jordan
some sort of a
links with
healer,
the blacksmith
where
and
there
the
can be a
baker.
baker that amongst your friends or whatever, you
Okay.
give them their stuff and they heal while you're out in battle.
So let me get this straight. I'm the dungeon master, right?
You could
I
be.
create the scenario,
Yes.
and I know there's a dragon here, there's a monster here.
Because you placed the dragon there.
Because
Yes.
I did that, but
Yeah.
you guys don't know.
So it's like Battleship a little bit, where you can't step on this spot because there's
But
a
I'm the one who
landmine?
made it.
Yeah,
I
he's the one that
created
made
for
it, so
you
he
guys.
knows what there's traps. He pretty much you're playing within his world that he created for us, and all that stuff. And like the thing is, if you want to do anything, that's where the dice rolls in, because your character, they can do things, but they can only do it so well depending on the dice and what their stats are. Which is in the beginning you roll dice to create your stats.
Like
yeah, but you can do some campaigns that are hours and they keep going, or you can do like a campaign that's like a couple hours or an hour.
It all depends on how you write it. Like a Freaks and Geeks commercial recently where they're like, "Oh, we're still playing" or something. Yeah. It's been like 20 years or something, right? So it can be days and shit.
Yeah, because in that one they're promoting the movie, right?
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah.
So is that the movie?
No.
Oh.
But like,
can you make people have sex?
Of the movie.
I'm pretty sure you can.
What? That's awesome.
Yeah, Robert sets it up and it's like in this corner people have sex.
You have sex with Jay.
Hey, you want to go in that cave? You gotta suck his dick.
What the fuck? He said you pretty much can. You can do that.
Like, I'm pretty sure
I'm the baker and what do I charge?
What?
Favors.
That's insane.
So like the movie takes place in like what would be like a world that you're able to create with the type of creatures that you're able to create. Like the Dungeon Master's Guide, it has different creatures that exist within this world or whatever. And there's expansion packs to those stories. So there's more creatures that you can use to your advantage of your Dungeon Master or whatever that you want to create for these scenarios. So a lot of it lives in that. It's not like based off of us like the actual board game, but like what the board game can be and stuff like that. Or like, because the whole thing is like you as a group, go on a mission. So that's what the movie is about. These guys are going on a mission to.
Is someone like controlling them? Like,
no.
Oh no.
They don't have a magical
narrator. It's not like a post-credits thing where like they reveal that it was like
someone playing.
No.
Oh, that would be.
I don't remember. I don't even remember if there was a post-credit scene or not.
You left. I'm mad at you.
The thing is, it's been so long since I wanted to go see it.
Did you like it?
I thought it was okay. Like, I think I'm gonna be an out. Like, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
So much for that franchise.
Well, the thing is, like,
that one fan didn't like it.
No, the general feeling of this movie when it came out was that it was better than a lot of people expected it to be. Oh. So like you kind of like,
because everybody skipped it.
It kind of helped, like it almost kind of built it up a little bit when like when
so you went in with low expectations.
Like I just was like, oh, let's see if it meets those expectations. Yeah, it was like everyone was like, oh, it's good or whatever, and it was just meh. Like it wasn't.
Yeah,
like it was entertaining still, but it was just kind of.
I thought the trailer made it seem funny. Like if anything, like I knew it was gonna be like an adventure thing, and I was like, okay, if I get to it, like.
Yeah, like it's not Lord of the Rings where it's just like everything's somber and slow, like kind of like serious or whatever. It does give it that little twist and makes it a little bit more like, this little fun action adventure kind of movie. But like, yeah, it wasn't like mind blowing or anything. It was just like, all right, it's fine.
Good popcorn movie.
Yeah, it's kind of around there. Mm-hmm. So like if you're bored or whatever, like
got nothing to do on a Thursday movie, yeah.
Which is kind of like where it ended. I was like,
you're like, I've seen all the other
movies. Yeah, we're just like
fucking loser. Let me watch this.
Nah, that movie's bad. All right, let's move on.
Nobody else watched it, I guess. So
no.
All right, my next one is called Evil Dead Rise.
Ooh.
And I don't know if this is a sequel or a reboot, whatever. It's a new entry in the Evil Dead franchise.
Sounds like fan service to me.
And you know what it's about. Some fucking demon, or there's a book of the dead. They read it and it unleashes a demon that possesses some people. Right? I've never been like a real big fan of the Evil Dead, even though I'm like super in horror. But I've always appreciated it, especially Sam Raimi's direction or whatever, like the creativity in those movies. So this is gonna be kind of harsh, but it's on the Evil Dead curve, right? Okay. So I'll be kind of a soft out on this one.
Soft.
I say that because Evil Dead, like the movies are so creative, right? With their camera work and everything like that. Mm-hmm. And this one has everything, like has the possession, has the demons, it has the blood, has the gore and everything. But I think it's lacking that kind of creativity behind the camera.
The
because
silliness.
it feels kind of like too serious, but then you're trying not to be, and it's like kind of pick a lane, kind of like, you know. So it's a little bit disappointing in that aspect, that where it kind of just becomes like a stock horror movie, like Conjuring or whatever, where it's like, oh, I wish it had some more flair, you know, because it's a nice setting. They're in like a building in LA that gets like closed off, and they're stuck there, right, with the demon. But yeah, it's just overall it just lacks creativity, and it's trying to be like the old ones, trying to be like new ones. I think the last remake was good because it went so far away from the original. It made its own thing, you know?
It could be scary and everything.
And it was actually scary. And this one, it was just like, everything was so predictable. It was like you were reading one of those screenplay books. Like, you know, like, well, in Act 1, you got to introduce this and you got to pay it off. And it was just like, whatever. But overall, I think for like general audiences who've never seen like an Evil Dead movie, it might be entertaining. But I just like, it's okay. But I'll move on.
I don't remember the other Evil Dead movies except for the original one.
The original, yeah. And the show. I really
The
liked
show was good, yeah.
Did you ever watch the show?
No.
It's really good.
Yeah, it's funny.
But if you like Evil Dead, I guess.
I'm gonna give this one a delete.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
It wasn't funny. It wasn't scary. It dragged. I don't know. It just...
I can't remember it.
I kind of can't.
That's kind of a bad
But
thing,
here,
right?
I feel like I remember the whole thing. I do. They're in like a lake. Then all of a sudden you're in an apartment and it's dark, and they go and get pizza. And then like there's an earthquake or something. And then they find a book, and then the kid goes and gets it, and there's records, and they play them, and they get possessed, and then the mom dies. It literally, this is how the movie plays out.
Yeah.
The shit just happens, and it's so monotone the whole way. You don't really have any feelings about it.
Like reading a screenplay book.
Literally, it's like then this has to happen.
Next,
yeah, and dude, I'm over here like I can't conjure up any feelings of like goodness, badness, nothing. It's just I thought it was boring. And I feel
didn't stir up anything in you.
And then I think it ended with like an open ending where there's gonna be another one. Did it? Or is that just
no,
me?
it kind of goes. It loops back to the beginning. Remember?
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Fuck, I don't remember that part.
That was kind of lame.
Yeah, I'm just gonna delete it. It was not. It's not my cup of tea. Who else watched it?
Me, I watched it. I'm gonna be an out. Not a soft out, like a normal out. It was so annoying, you know, like the characters are terrible, but they get killed, so it kind of helped out. It's like the Halloween thing
but
that
it's not
happened.
satisfying.
It's like, it's
it
not.
wasn't, no.
It wasn't. It's like you didn't care.
Yeah.
At all.
But it started getting kind of entertaining, like towards the end, and there was like a shitload of blood and like this weird
When they
monster
started fighting.
thing. Yeah, like I was kind of like fine, but it's trying to give you so much of like the old one mixed with the new one, right? So like the old one has like little like the little things like they had this, and I remember I was thinking like they're gonna do this, and they did it. The eye and the girl eats it, all little shit like that, and I was like,
They ate an eye?
Getting raped by a tree.
remember
by a tree, yes.
Wait, someone got raped by a tree in this
But
one?
in this one, it's
And this
the
one's the
elevator.
elevator.
Yeah, it's like the same thing.
In the original one, somebody gets
No, I
raped by a
remember
tree.
the tree, yeah, but I don't. The elevator?
They don't make it. It kind of alludes to that. Like
Oh,
it's similar.
okay.
Like
Oh.
yeah.
They have
I
like
missed
little
it, I
things
guess.
here and there. The lady gets possessed on the original one, and then she gets trapped in the basement, right?
Yeah.
So in this one, she's trapped in the hallway, I guess, right? And she's trying to get in.
that was
Oh,
kinda
yeah.
lame.
So it's like the same. I guess they're trying to do the little similarities. This guy's playing
It's
DJ
not a
with the
good
fucking thing.
similarity.
It's like demon. Demon. That was really stupid.
It's so silly, dude. It's like, but yeah, like all that is. It's like I guess another thing is that it had potential because it's never been done in LA, like in a city, like that's new,
God,
you know.
Who gives a shit?
But like I guess that's kind of cool. Like they try to make something.
Now,
out of
does
it.
the city actually
No.
right?
role?
No,
Yeah.
it's
You would
an
never know.
apartment.
No, at all.
It's not like they rode the bus
Yeah.
and shook hands with the mayor
It became
and jumped
weird.
into
It might as
fucking
well have been
a
a
lake.
cabin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No
it really
one's
was,
no
yeah.
one was outside. It was.
There's
weird.
nothing that they took advantage of in the setting that you couldn't tell
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
the cabin.
Because
in
they
the woods.
did make a point of of saying we're in LA, right?
Yeah.
Is that just to
was very
distance
funny.
themselves for?
But that's what they tried. Like,
Yeah.
oh, we're trying to be different, but you end up like just doing the same thing.
Why
Yeah.
were they in the cabin again in the beginning? What is that? You said it looped back, but I didn't
No, it
understand
just
the
starts.
connection.
Yeah.
It starts
Oh, they're
like the old ones, right?
disconnect.
It's just,
Yeah.
And then they show that one of the girls in the apartment building was going to the cabin,
Yeah.
and she just got possessed.
Yeah. And it doesn't make sense either because
It's just kind of dumb.
I thought it was
It-
interconnected some way.
This is like, I guess, like
Okay.
something dumb. I don't even know
Oh,
why
they
I'm
do,
bringing it up.
yes.
But in the original ones, the way to beat the demon is it doesn't like you can't kill it. So it's when the sun comes up. So in this one, the sun was out and the fucking lady's flying. I don't know.
What?
I was just
I don't
tripping
know.
out. I was tripping out
I
on
don't
that.
remember.
The thing. Oh, sorry.
No, I don't even got nothing. I was just gonna say like it just I don't know.
The thing that bugged me the most is like, you have all these fucking, they fucking eat glass and they like peel off skin and all that. It's all cool and stuff, but if you don't have the visual flair to match that, then you got nothing. Because I couldn't see shit. I don't know about you guys.
Oh, that's right.
It was so
huh?
poorly shot.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, this is really disappointing.
it's like dark.
Like, it was really dark.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's like, why? Like, why is it necessary to be so realistic that you can't see shit? Like, it's raining outside and you'll turn on a fucking light. You know?
Yeah.
It's just, it's trying hard to be like that funny Evil Dead style and being like more Conjuring. And it doesn't work at either one.
I didn't
Yeah.
catch the funny at all.
Yeah, it's trying. And it doesn't work.
It was trying, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, what the hell's
where
this?
were the jokes? Where was the silly? I didn't.
I don't remember.
Just with,
Them
like,
getting pizza? Like, is that
all those little things, like you're stealing, like
Oh,
all that woke
Is that
shit, you know,
funny?
like that was so lame, dude. I was
Dude,
like,
that
oh
funny?
my god. All that bullshit. No, you know what? You're making me
I'm making
switch.
myself want to delete too.
Yeah. Oh shit. But yeah. I guess I got
I'm changing mine from like a neutral out to like the lowest possible out you could be. Yeah.
My fingers over the button. Just
No, because I think just being really, really nice for people that have never seen an Evil Dead movie, it might be something
Yeah.
no,
that they haven't
no.
seen.
Just start.
but
With,
the thing
just
is,
start
like-
with the actual Evil Dead.
I was gonna say, like, but what's the actual charm of the Evil Dead franchise?
It's the whole comedy thing.
Yeah.
yeah.
the whole
So that's
creativity.
one
And none
thing.
of
So
it's
like,
here.
why would this
And
be
this-
the entry level for
Right?
that? Like,
Because-
if that's not
because
what
a lot
the
of-
actual
a lot
heart
I
of
think
the
a
franchise
lot of people
is.
get turned off by the comedy in the originals.
Then this franchise is not going to be for you. So this is not their entry.
So this one
to
tries
it.
to have his cake and eat it too, and it doesn't really work.
But the thing
at
is,
either
like,
one.
if this is your entry level, and then you're like,
gonna
oh,
turn you
cool, and then you go to like what the actual franchise is, you're still gonna be turned off.
I think if you want to see a good
Yeah.
one and you don't want to see the comedy stuff, just watch the first remake. 'Cause that was really good. I think.
Watch the original.
I think the original's fine.
Yeah.
And then
Or the show.
one of the best things about the original is that like it doesn't really have anything. It's like they're just kids in the cabin. They get
Yeah.
possessed. And that's it.
And they try so hard to cram in all these references. Like I think they say groovy at one point.
Oh
don't they?
my god!
Did they?
Yes.
And it's like these characters would never say that,
dude,
in
and
a
have
million
little lines
years.
out like they have
Yeah,
lines.
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my god! And then
yeah, because I think this is the first one without Bruce Campbell. Like the first one, the only one I think of within this universe
I heard him.
that doesn't. I think they.
I heard
yeah,
his
I think
voice in
I
the
think they
little
do.
recording.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it does
He's
say like
in
he's
it.
an
Is he the priest or
uncredited
something?
just
Yeah.
voice.
He's one
or
of the
whatever.
priests.
Yeah.
When they play that.
But like, but I mean, like as in Ash, the character Ash, I think
Yeah,
is not
no,
necessarily
no.
involved.
I
in
was
it at all.
expecting him to pop out at the end.
And
Yeah.
what's going on with the mom when she's like, or not the mom, the sister? She's like, "What did you hear?" Like, okay, you guys stay here. I'm gonna listen to it too.
and there's
it's
no
like,
character. Like they tried to
Dude.
have some character,
Oh
relevant,
my
but there's
god,
nothing there.
that shit is so
Like,
annoying,
there's
dude.
nothing.
That shit, all that is annoying.
You don't care about it. You like when they die, like I said, like, and they're young. They're young kids. Usually, when you see a kid die in a movie, you're like, oh my god,
yeah.
you know. And this one, you're like, oh, I guess the world's better off. You know? But yeah,
Did you watch it though?
No, I haven't seen any of them. So I was like,
just don't watch it.
It's like
Kind of sucks.
Kind of. We just trashed it. Like, it's all right.
it's like you've been talking yourself from not giving it a
know.
delete.
Yeah. No, I'll stick with that.
All right, let's move on.
The next movie we watched was Sisu, which I believe is by the makers of John Wick, right? Is it the same producers or something?
Is it?
Somebody.
I can look it up. Just give me a minute.
So it's about I don't know, like a Norwegian guy or something fighting
Isn't
Nazis.
Isn't it like the Norwegian John Wick?
Is he Norwegian? I
How do you
was like
spell?
white people.
Finnish, I think.
Oh, a Finnish. Oh, Sisu. He's a Finnish Nazi fighter. And literally, that's what the whole movie's about. There's probably 45 lines in the whole movie. It's kind of a Western where they kill Nazis.
It's a Western
that's it.
set in
fine
World
by
War
me.
II.
Yeah. And it's beautiful. It's
Like-
nice to look at, but that is the end of that.
Like I remember seeing, I think I saw the trailer to this, but
Yeah, that's literally
It
all you
looks
need
really
to know
low
about the movie.
budget.
That's all that happens.
It was a
it's
$6
cute.
million
It's very
budget.
cute looking.
What is it? What is it about? Is it?
Wow.
It's about a guy that finds
Literally,
gold.
he fights.
No, he finds gold, and then they try to jack him, and then he's just like, I just
Yeah.
want to
So-
cash
but
my check.
Even if he didn't have the golds, they were going to kill him.
so the movie is follows a former legendary Finnish commando and gold prospector who attempts to secure his stolen gold and defend himself from a German death squad led by a brutal SS officer.
That's putting
Yeah.
so much into it. Really.
But that's what it is.
Yeah, and it goes a little Fast and Furious at some point. He like jumps off a plane or something. The plane is really bad CGI and oof, it's tough.
where are
Like
you?
you'd think because there's 45 lines in this, like they'd be good, they'd be clever. No, they're not. I enjoyed looking at it,
So
but I guess
visually
not
stunning,
enough.
But not enough substance.
So I'm gonna delete this.
Eesh.
Did the guy even talk?
I think I lowered the volume, so I was like, that's why I had played twice.
He's like,
You saw
Ricardo,
it?
did you
No.
watch it?
oh
you didn't
yeah,
watch
yeah,
it?
yeah. I was like, I didn't
I
see
don't want
that.
to talk about it.
Yeah, I guess I'm an out on this one because, but the only thing that killed it, because it does have like those little scenes where you're seeing John Wick, fucking people up, but
Nope.
there's too much CGI on the kills that kills it.
No, they're also so fast.
Yeah, but like how in the CGI like the blood comes out, but it's like all CGI, so it looks it looks pretty whack.
But the choreography, because there's really nothing except for fighting in this movie. And the fighting isn't like John Wick. You go for that, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not like that. It's not nice. It's not like...
So
it's
it's not,
just,
like,
it's
well
super
shot,
close
yeah.
up. It's fast. Like, cut here, cut there. Like, no. So,
But it was kind of fun. Like little
Yeah.
things like that, like the kills, like some people blow up and it'll be like, oh shit, this is cool, So that's why I was like there. And it's simple. It's just him trying to go to the bank. That's it,
Nah.
Something
little
simple.
story.
Yeah, something simple. But yeah, like that scene, like, well, I guess we're giving it away. Like he's in the plane.
Nobody's gonna watch.
I know. He's in the plane.
Nobody watched this.
what is this, like a
Period.
plot twist? Like, is it essential to the movie? Like, you're not going to understand?
No, but like
it anymore?
like he's about to die. Like the bad guy dies in the plane, and then he's trapped in, and then he just like puts a seatbelt on, and he fucking survives. It doesn't make sense. The whole plane blows up, but whatever. Yeah, that's all I gotta say about that movie. If you're interested in watching something like this, I suggest you watch it in theaters. It's not theaters anymore.
What-
$1 like movie theater.
yeah, the $3 theaters.
All right, let's move on.
I'll throw this one out. It was on Apple TV, the Tetris movie.
What the?
Yeah.
Never even
Another
heard.
video game movie
I was
or what?
expecting the.
You swear
that the song?
I was prepared.
Sorry.
I honestly never heard of this movie.
Yeah, me neither.
What the hell?
So it kind of got released around that same time that Air got released.
What the?
Yeah, except this one was on Apple.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like it wasn't the theatrical release or anything. It kind of goes along the same route as Air. Like it's just like, oh, it's just a movie based on the guy that created the game and
Oh,
how
really?
how the rights were acquired for this game.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
Another dad
So-
movie.
I thought it was like an actual
Well-
Tetris, like the game.
No,
They
no,
have
no.
eyes. They're
So-
like, hey, you want to scoot over?
So like,
the movie.
so I'll say I'm an in because, like I said earlier, with like Air, I like to know kind of like the thing behind this, and the way that they did it, they also made it very almost like an action film, which is kind of
What?
stupid and stuff. Yeah. So the story of the Tetris game is there was a guy who, because all this happens during the Soviet Union. Okay. So Russia is
Cold War.
Yeah, the Cold War. Russia is pretty much closed off to every the whole world and all that stuff. So there's a guy, I think it was a German, went into Russia, was kind of doing some business, whatever. Saw Tetris, this game that a guy created in there that it was like super popular inside Russia or whatever. So the guy says like, that's
It's like,
I want
what Germany needs?
no,
Walls.
like, well, the thing is, he I was like, remember, this is the 80s and stuff. Whereas like Pong was like, Pong was like the biggest game ever, where it's just 2 blocks and a little ball, kind of thing. So yeah, so like this, the whole movie is about acquiring the rights, and the thing is, like I said, this is all during like the Soviet Union and all that stuff, and almost like the collapse of the Soviet Union. So in order to get the rights, you have to you had to negotiate with the actual Russian
With
government.
Mr. Tetris.
Yeah, and
Russia Tetris, please, you.
Soviet Russia.
all right, Yakov. So yeah, like the whole thing is like, everything's supposed to be anti-capitalism, but here's these guys that want to get the game and all that stuff. Anyways, so like this whole thing of, it's kind of this weird battle between trying to fight the Russian government to get the rights
To the game.
to get the game, and there's like 3 different people trying to get the rights to the game because
They start shooting each other, or what? It becomes an
it
action?
almost becomes like a spy thriller kind of
What
thing.
the-
Like a light-sided spy thriller thing, but yeah, like that's why, like, it's just
Sounds kind of fun.
it was pretty fun. That's why it's like I'm in on it, because it's just like the way, like, it's like
And
it's kind
a
of
true story.
it is based on true events. They did hype up certain things or whatever,
Uh-huh.
because like they do talk to like I saw like a little like behind the scenes kind of featurette or whatever, where they talk to the guys, because like the guy that created Tetris, he's stuck in this situation, living in Russia. The guy that wanted to
I actually saw this.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I didn't know if anybody else saw it.
Sorry.
All right, go for it.
Yeah, I'll jump in here. So actually, I'm familiar with this story. So I was like actually really looking forward to this when I heard that they were making a movie about it. But I gotta say, I'm gonna be on the out because of the reasons I think that Gio brought up. Is that they took this shell of a story, and because I think they didn't really know what to do with it, they threw in all the action stuff, which just it doesn't really fit. And what's
Light
disappointing about it,
espionage.
maybe I'm disappointed because I actually knew the backstory, and I think the way you would approach this movie is the way you would approach like The Social Network, where you're taking something that's inherently boring because it's about 3 people trying to go get the rights for the game, a video game, in a country that's anti-capitalist, right?
Yeah.
That's essentially what it's about. So essentially you're going to be in 3 rooms, right? Like negotiating. That kind of sounds boring. I think the fundamental mistake with this movie is that it makes it about the one guy, the American guy trying to get the rights. I think to make this movie interesting, they should have made it about the actual guy who created Tetris, because his story is really interesting because he created essentially one of the most popular games of all time in the Soviet Union, where you can't sell it. Like, and it's not his, right?
Whatever you create belongs to the
state.
government.
That's the more interesting story, right? Whereas in this one, it makes it about the guy trying to get it so he can sell it to Nintendo, right? and that actually is an interesting story. It's just I wish the screenplay it wouldn't have it's fine if you want, because they do make it kind of fun. Like, there's always like you always see like little blocks and stuff like that. Although it kind of gets old after a while. Like
they incorporate
little blocks and
as
stuff.
Like
at one point,
like at transition, there's just fun little things, you know, like when they crash and stuff. So there is some elements where you could see that, but it's just it never really quite works because sometimes it is really serious.
Yeah.
And it's like you don't know which one you're trying to be. So I think, like I said, I think it was a mistake making it about that guy, and they should have made it about the Soviet guy.
Yeah, because
that's actual like there's real stakes there, right?
Like he gets actual death threats.
Yeah, that he can't,
like his family is like almost like kidnapped.
And he created a game, you know, the most popular game. Like it rivals Mario, you know, essentially.
It's like the number one like most selling game in the world. Like it's got that.
So I think I do like these stories. Like I was ready into it. But if you want to see the story just told better, there's a YouTube video by this guy. It's called The Gaming Historian. His videos are so good, they could be on PBS. Oh. I swear to God. He has an hour-long video about the Tetris thing. Oh. And it's everything that happens in the movie, but just told like in a documentary style. So if you want to see the story, watch that, and then maybe watch the movie, because it's not all bad. But I just think
wouldn't it be better to watch it the other way? Because you're saying if I watch the documentary, the movie,
then you're gonna be disappointed.
Yeah. No, well, I think it's not if you're in search of wasting an hour and a half. If you actually are interested in the actual making and
because like it just depends on whether you want the dramatized version of it or just like the straight version of it.
Yeah, like I said, I think if they would have done the same thing, but just from the perspective of the Soviet, because it would have raised the stakes and it would have made those shootouts and all that, even being fun,
their shootouts
mean a little bit more, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because like at that point, your anxiety goes a little bit high because you're just like, oh crap, is this guy gonna make it out? Because you're on the American side, it's just like his stakes are he put his house on the line. The other guy's stakes is like, it's life and death.
This is my life. Yeah.
It's life and death. So like that's why like it would be more.
And then the guy that got the main character, he's the guy who played Elton John. Oh, he's good, but he didn't really fit this guy. I don't think
his accent or what?
No, he doesn't have any accent. But he
doesn't have an accent.
Yeah.
He's just American. Well,
he's just an American dude.
I thought he was.
He's not even like he's American, but he was born in like the Netherlands.
Yeah.
But he moved to like
overall,
America.
It's just like kind of like on tiers of like if Air is like here, this movie is kind of the same thing because it's about a product, right, and how it came to be. It's a little bit below that. Yeah, I think.
Kind of sounds like that. I don't know if you guys have seen it on Netflix. It's a docuseries called Pez Outlaw or something about how a guy brought like maybe it was from Russia or somewhere. He brought a bunch of Pez to the U.S. and kind of like was a really big seller of rare Pez dispensers.
Right.
It gets kind of interesting because it's like he's importing things that he's not supposed to.
It's that story.
Yeah.
Because it got so tangled up. There was people selling it who shouldn't have been selling it.
Yeah, there are people that are like, I thought I had the rights. They're like, no, you don't have the rights or whatever. Like it's not a legally binding like contract or whatever.
So it is an interesting story, but it's kind of like it's like about paperwork. Essentially.
It's all bureaucracy. Because the guy wants to get the rights in order to.
So that's why they added like the fucking gun.
Like one Tetris, please. No. Please.
Yeah, like
no.
There's like they had the little like featurette that's like with the movie or whatever. Like,
have you seen that Gaming Historian?
I haven't. I've seen like another guy that's on YouTube that does like theme park stuff called Defunct Land.
Oh,
I wonder if it's the same.
On that level.
Like, I wonder if it's like
it's that engaging.
Like, where these dudes just do it for free and like they just they get
like
their
that shit belongs on PBS.
Yeah, it's like they get a lot of research and stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's watchable,
mildly entertaining at times.
I think I'd rather watch the documentary.
It's like, you want documentary, you want like, spy thriller.
All right.
So my next one was actually going to be Tetris, but since you did it, I guess I'll go to Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. You all know the story. It's about these
Guardians
of the Galaxy.
of the Galaxy.
I actually saw this movie in Mexico and I saw it in Spanish, which is fun.
Wait,
That is
straight
it.
out
Yo
Spanish?
soy
Or-
Straight out dubbed Spanish.
Oh.
Yeah. So I was like, am I going to like it?
Is
I
that
don't
good or
know.
bad? Yeah.
Are things, because there's so many jokes involved, right? Things gonna get lost in translation. But
Plus the dubbing.
Yeah, surprisingly, they did a really good job.
Did they have Spanish versions of the music? Or was it just the English
No.
version?
If it's in the
okay.
soundtrack, they don't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they only dub the voices. I'm in on this movie. I really enjoyed it. I thought it closed the book on the Guardians of the Galaxy really well, and it's been one of the better Marvel movies in recent memory. Yeah, it was fun, emotional.
That's all
That's all I gotta say about
Emotionally
that.
Emotionally
the reason because I
draining.
saw it in Spanish, so it was like, I don't know if I was more impressed that I got everything and everything kind of like landed.
Yeah, I was
you know?
gonna say
'Cause even my mom liked it. And she's never seen Guardians. She doesn't know any of the characters. She doesn't know this world, and it translated for her. And I was really surprised. I was like, oh, that was really good.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, how much did you actually understand?
Everything.
All right.
Yeah, I laughed and everything. Yeah.
I imagine you in the theater like, haha, like waiting to hear other people
Yeah.
laugh.
Yeah,
Like, was that funny?
yeah,
It was funny is that, like,
reaction.
they had their first. This is the first fuck in Marvel.
Oh,
Right?
yeah, yeah,
And I
yeah.
completely
yeah, I
forgot
got
about
that.
it. Right, while I was watching it, obviously I was watching in Spanish, and when it finally came, they're like, "Abre la puerta," and I was like,
Was that it?
I think
"That was it."
It's like,
That's
That's
worse.
funny.
That's worse than fuck.
Yeah, kind of.
I don't think.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know.
Yes,
I
it
get-
is. I think so too.
It's a horrible word. Anyways,
I mean, didn't they in the first one? I swear they call the green girl a green whore, don't they?
Yeah, but
So that's
I
kind of
don't
the same
know.
thing, right? They
I
call
guess
the green
that would
one
be.
same
well,
shit,
that'd be a
right?
prostituta.
No, oh, I guess no. They can, that's puta. No,
Huh?
that's puta.
It would be.
Yeah.
It would be.
So I mean,
But I
different
wouldn't-
I never
different
saw
use.
that.
So
Yeah, I never saw
I mean,
that.
I would think it's more
Yeah.
offensive to call her a puta
Yeah, than
instead
the
of saying
door.
puta
Yeah.
puerta. Yeah. So
Anyways, I mean, I liked it.
um
I'll go.
yeah, go ahead.
We just saw this yesterday.
Oh,
Yes.
So it's fresh.
Yes, I am an in on this. It's another, Guardians of the Galaxy is probably one of the only ones I like, other than like Black Panther or something like that. And I think it's better than the second one, right?
Yeah.
So it was cool, and I guess I didn't know about like a lot of the things, like the story. So in the theater we were watching, it was the Alamo. They started off with each character's story to explain everyone's background and
Like
know.
before the movie?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
it's
It was
like-
awesome.
They had
Yeah.
a catch
That's
up.
cool.
That's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
and it was a badass catch up.
And it was like, here's what's happened in
Dude,
you
that'd be
know
so helpful.
Super
in
helpful.
Gamora's
No,
eyes.
yeah.
and then-
Previously in Guardians of
Yeah.
the Galaxy.
Yes.
according
Exactly.
to Gamora, that's what it would say.
Yeah,
And according
so
to
each
the
character.
raccoon, yeah.
So cool.
It literally helped so much. So it was awesome because now you understand like what the dog is and everything, you know. So I didn't.
Oh yeah, because there was a Christmas special too.
Yeah.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
They
Yeah.
explained that.
Oh yeah, we
And-
didn't. I didn't remember that they were siblings.
Yeah.
Uh-huh, they
the
say
two
all
people.
that in the thing.
Yeah.
So and that helped a lot because if not, I wouldn't understand shit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and I thought it was really even since the beginning, like the whole story of the raccoon, it's really sad, and I was in it. I was like, oh, this is emotional. I like it. So good ups on that, and I'm hoping they don't come back, but. If they come back, if I
They
see
said-
Batista come back, I'm gonna be like, oh
Said
my
at least
god.
one of them's coming back.
Oh, okay. Please not let it be Batista. He ended it cool,
Yeah,
right?
they all had nice endings.
So I don't know, but all right. What do you think?
Well, it is a Marvel movie.
No, not only that, I don't like Guardians of the Galaxy. I
Oh,
hate
really?
Groot, and I hate the Star guy.
Star-Lord.
I really don't like him.
It's funny because usually the Guardians are the ones that like have a little bit more appeal.
I just think
Then
it's
the-
like
Because they're a little bit more
Yeah.
off to the side.
yeah, and they're kind of like the little
Disconnected.
weirdos, and
Yeah.
they're funny, but like me caen gordos, all of them. I just didn't like it. It was really long. There were pockets of the movie that I was into. Like I do think the raccoon story was like, oh, that's sad.
That is one
No,
of
the
the
little
stronger-
thing with no arms, the thing on the wheels.
Oh, that was
She
kind
was-
of funny.
Yeah, it was like funny sad, and then they
Yeah.
die, and I was like, oh, but the rest of the movie, I was like, I don't give a shit. And then nobody ends up where they wanted. I feel like it would have been good if the raccoon died and stayed dead. That might have been a nice ending. He was reunited with his friend. I know, spoiler alert, but everyone's seen it. Everyone runs to these
Yeah,
movies.
it's been long enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been like 3 weeks.
So
Anybody
it's
that's
just
a fan.
oh my
seen
god, it
for
was
sure.
gonna end like 3-4 times at the end there.
Yeah, it did have a little Lord of the Rings in
Like
it.
why?
multiple endings.
So yeah,
And then
it's
there's
just my
the
own.
post credit.
Was there?
Yes, if I remember correctly.
Oh,
Well,
I
we
didn't.
ran
stay.
out.
Yeah,
I'm starting to
Yeah.
do that too. I don't give a fuck anymore.
yeah. So I don't know. It's my Guardians of the Galaxy bias, I think, but
What are you?
I'm deleting.
Oh,
Whoa!
Sounds kind of positive.
yeah.
It sounded positive. I was like, I don't like this. I don't like these actors. I don't like that.
Dude, I
I'm like
I thought you were
Oprah,
gonna be
negative
an out.
Oprah.
I know. I was like, wow, this is pretty positive for
Because
America.
you even said
I said
like,
that there were pockets that I was like, oh, this is kind of getting
Yeah,
me, and then
I thought
it
the
just goes into
the Rocket storyline would have kept it enough to where like it bumped it at least
was a
like a
whole-
low out.
It was a whole 10 minutes of a 2.5-hour movie. Come on.
That review was like an M. Night Shyamalan movie. I was like, what's where we going? Wow.
And then the music too.
oh,
I
that-
love
that-
Florence, but then they put that at the end and then they start
It makes
dancing. I
sense,
was like,
though.
what?
That's pretty cool.
Huh.
It was like the perfect use of that song in that moment in that
That
movie.
was nice.
Yeah,
It's like, stop being happy. Huh?
Hey, no.
nobody can be happy. If I can't be
It
happy,
felt
like
like a Return of the Jedi is
Uh-huh.
right. So it's kind of fun, but whatever.
Well, she wanted Yub Nub, I think.
Yeah.
At the
We
end.
got hater right here, so I don't know. Go Gio.
I'm in.
Yay.
It's a fun ride. It's a good ending, I think, to this trilogy, because one was good, the part 2 was
Mm-hmm.
and then so like this one kind of brought it back up. Like you guys mentioned, it's very emotional and stuff regarding like when it comes to the Rocket storyline, and yeah, like it was fun. There's possibility of I think of some of these coming back. Like it's a comic book movie. No one's ever dead and no one ever leaves. Everyone's always like,
Yeah, I'm sure
well, you guys didn't say for the post credit.
I did. You know what's cool in Mexico too? This is the best part. They
Mm-hmm.
fast forward through the credits.
Nice. Nice.
There's a dude in the projection who's
You
like,
can literally see it going. Toot, toot, toot.
We're in the wrong country,
Yeah.
dude. What the fuck?
Yeah, because I was like, I'm not gonna make my parents sit through the fucking
Yeah.
the
Well-
credits, and then they just started. So I was like, oh, maybe it's a mid credit, right? And then the next one played, and I was like, oh, that's weird. And then it just dawned on me that they were fast forwarding.
Oh.
also it's just like,
Yeah.
it's like dub card, and I was like, none of the people, like none of the actors,
Yeah.
like just or you saw their face, but you didn't see their actual, like you didn't hear them. It's like, just get to the
so
dub
what's
card.
the post-credit scene? What is it?
It's it was Peter Quill, right?
They show the new team being
Oh,
led by the
yeah, that
raccoon.
one.
And I'm like, we're the new Guardians or whatever. And then they
wow.
show Mr. Christian Man back at home, like with his grandpa.
Mr. Christian Man? The
Chris
guy I
Pratt.
hate? Oh, okay.
Chris Pratt.
Yeah, they're talking
What
about
the-
something, and I
And it
think
just says,
Star-Lord
will
will
return.
return. So
okay.
he's coming back.
so I was gonna
Well, he
leave.
does have a bunch of children now, or one of them do, right? A couple of them have
I think he
children
just had
now.
a child. Like
So
they just
he had a kid. No, because you know
Newborn
how
or
they've saved all these kids for no fucking reason. Oh my god! At the end there, they were really just throwing things in. They're like, oh well, this is the last movie. Let's just.
I
It's
will
gotta be
say,
dramatic. Let's save
to
1
kind of,
million
like,
children.
Different, like America's position. The third act, because I was like really satisfied, right? And one of the things I was impressed with was like, this screenplay is good because for it to translate into Spanish, like, like I always said, that's a sign of a good movie. Because we all kind of grew up watching like Cine de las Estrellas and stuff, watching like movies dubbed in Spanish, and a lot of times they were pretty bad. But I just always said, if they're good, that means the movie's really good, right? Because it translates. So I was like, yeah. And then the third act hits. And then you realize, oh, they still gotta set all this stuff.
Yeah.
Still
Yeah.
gotta do. And
You're
I was
like, maybe I'll go
I
to the
kinda
bathroom
felt
right
like
now.
My back, and I was like, oh fuck, we still got like another 45
Yeah.
minutes.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
So I was like, so in that sense, I will say
I
the
see
third
that.
act. Oh, we'll get to it. But it's
Yeah.
so cool. Like when they do the whole Beastie Boys thing, I was like, oh, that's cool.
That was
Yeah,
that was amazing.
It's weird you being all into it because, you know, at the Alamo, they don't give you a receipt.
You've
They
been
give
to
it to you around like the 40-minute mark of like you've got 40 minutes left of the movie.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
you buy like your
Yeah,
Oh,
you're
I
buying
have-
stuff
Yeah,
throughout.
yeah.
Yeah, I've never
Yeah.
gone to the Alamo.
So
So they give you like 30 minutes left.
for
or
like 40 minutes. At the
right?
40-minute mark,
And
they
I
give you.
remember I was like, what the fuck? Like
40 minutes from ending.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he's like, dude, they
haven't
haven't even given our
given my-
service.
Dude, I
Yeah,
was
and they
freaking
were
out.
literally just barely setting up the last battle, and it was like,
And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
No, because they were
then
still on
the-
that planet.
There was so much going on that they still, when you still have to set up the third act, it's
Yeah.
like, okay,
yeah,
this is.
yeah,
Yeah.
But I do think it was strong enough to where, like,
It was funny.
yeah.
There was like it started getting a really like kind of corny when it could have been really good too. At the end when they're all talking and they're saying they love each other and stuff.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I kind of felt like rushed now. Because now you took 2 hours and something in it.
There was a lot. There was a
and it
lot
like-
going on.
Yeah,
I will
and it
say
was
that.
like fast. And then, you know, they had the chance with Groot, you know, the tree. He could have been like, you guys are my family. If he would have said that with fucking Vin Diesel's voice, come on.
Instead of that, just family. No,
Oh, yeah,
like why
I
you
guess. Family. Oh my god, it would have blown my mind. Oh, another thing too that I was gonna say. So this movie had probably one of the best jokes ever, cause I couldn't stop laughing, and it's dumb because it's not even that funny. America was like, dude, it's not even funny.
I have seen you laugh in theaters, so I'm curious to see which one it is.
But I was like dying, and I couldn't stop. Like the scene ended, and I just was dying still. It's the scene where like these two, they're in that ship, right?
They
That-
just came in and their
Uh-huh.
suits flew away.
Yeah,
Oh.
that spot, that little ship, right? And they're showing them like the guys that are like the security. I guess they're just talking, and then some guy is like, "Oh, I remember riding this, I don't know, ship, or I don't know what he says, right?" And then like his little friend is like, "Oh yeah, I done that too," and he's like, "No, you haven't. I just made that up."
No, that's not what you were dying at.
That is
The-
the number. Oh, I'm never gonna
No,
forget, dude.
because that was the first joke right before it. Because the joke that he literally could not stop laughing at for like 5 minutes was where they've just thrown their suits out, and then the securities come in, and they're like, "Oh, my idiot friend here, like just got, like he fucked something up. He's the boss's nephew," and he's like,
was
"Well,
like,
I
"Oh,
got one of those," and this guy's like, "Ah!"
Because that's the same guy.
Sorry, I'm all screaming into the
No,
mic.
no, that's the same. That's the same. That's the
But
same.
it's right before.
No,
That was the
joke,
build up to it,
Yeah.
the joke happened first.
Yeah.
So I was already laughing,
Oh,
and
okay.
then that happened, and I was like,
Dude,
"Oh my
legit
god!"
5 minutes go
Dude,
by, and he's
and-
still like,
That shit was so.
It was funny though, because I
dude.
did
Yeah,
laugh out
that
loud
was
quite a
funny,
few
yeah.
times, and
Yeah.
it was, to be honest, it was really emotional. Like when his little
Yeah.
friends died, I was crying. Yeah,
dude, and little
Yeah.
animals. Come on, that shit
Yeah.
was good. This one,
It was a nice little
Yeah, I
arc.
thought it was
for-
funny and-
yeah.
and that
Okay,
was
the only
sad,
thing that
but-
was kind of funny too, though, he starts making out with the little thingy, right?
the little otter.
otter.
He kisses the otter.
Is that what happened? I thought you
Yeah.
just give it a little peck.
I don't know. I
Yeah,
thought
but-
it was
Like, go
kinda,
back home.
I thought it was trippy.
Yeah.
That was kind of funny.
This man's like, they're making out.
I was like, what the? But see, like, I don't know. I laughed and I felt.
I
like,
guess
emotion,
the reason
so-
why I found this one refreshing, because Marvel's in kind of like in a rut. It's like you don't really care about what's going on anymore. And this one's like, oh, it's yes, there's setups and everything, but at the end of the day, it was a nice little self-contained story
Yeah, it was.
that had actual stakes for the characters in it. So I was like, oh, this is nice.
Yep.
You know, it's an actual writer writing a story.
Yes.
You know,
That's the
flaws
best
here
part.
and there, yeah, but it's somebody making an actual movie, not
Yeah.
just another.
The CGI
Product
in
line.
this was also
It was a lot.
really
Here she comes.
fucking
Yeah.
bad. Dude, they have so many billions of dollars.
Yeah, but they don't.
I think for
And
this one,
it just, oh man.
for this one, for
Is this really
Guardians,
what Disney money buys?
I don't
you
really
know?
like look at it that way because it's like more of a cartoon.
But you
Yeah.
fucking should. They're this giant studio who
Just
owns
like-
everything.
And I honestly didn't feel like it looked
Oh,
that
man.
bad. Come on.
It did. It looks like Spy Kids. Have you guys
But
seen
they've
Spy
all-
Kids? You're gonna tell me that you haven't.
But Marvel CGI has been really bad lately.
They it's like,
Like
they don't.
noticeably bad.
I know.
Oh, they don't want to pay. That's the thing. That
Fucking
they
trash,
they're
dude.
they're
They're basically killing their artists.
Yeah, because I which one? Because I remember saying that
Like they're overworked, underpaid, and
because it hasn't been a long. Like when is
Like,
the
for
last
real,
time you
respect
saw
to
it
those
really
people.
good? I don't
But-
remember.
In a Marvel movie?
Yeah.
wait, what?
I don't remember.
When
Iron
it
Man?
actually looked good. It might have been Iron Man.
Yeah, maybe a couple of the early Iron
It's because
Man.
when you're relying on two people,
That's
no,
why-
one person maybe, because the other actor might not have even been in the scene with their, their counterpart, and they're just surrounded by screens.
Dude,
or
and then-
a green screen.
That's why like
That's
Eternals
just
tried to take it to make it
trash.
more
You need-
like actual sets.
Yeah, you need
and
to
actual
ground it. You need
locations.
to, yeah.
That was
Well, like
like-
the old Spider-Man, right? The old Spider-Man. It didn't look
Yeah.
that bad.
Yeah.
Because he's like.
Yeah, I agree with that. But
And because it's funny because you know when you watch a Marvel movie they show Marvel trailers and then the new Marvel movie, what's it called, the Marvels?
Yeah.
I think.
Dude, she's like dies in that trailer, huh? Because it looks super
Have you
bad.
guys seen the trailer?
yeah.
Come on,
CGI.
it's a 2-minute thing, and it just, oh my god, we made that in my garage or something. Like, this isn't a student film. Come on, guys, come on.
Billions
It
of
just-
dollars.
That's what I'm saying. I shouldn't have to sit through a 2.5-hour movie that's like, oh, that must have taken 3 hours to make it look that bad, like one fucking frame. I don't know.
All right, I'm down to move on.